And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the June live stream. Hello, Depot. How are you doing?
Hi. How's it going? I'm doing great.
I'm doing great. Yeah, and by the way, so for those of you who don't know, we had the Tridion live sessions last week. It was hosted by Depot himself, our star. There were a lot of really interesting sessions. And Depot, the sessions are now available on our website. So for those people who didn't tune in,
They've just gone out, in the last hour, we just released it. There was a load of work, splitting it out into sessions. But if you go onto the webinar on demand page, go into resources, events, and on demand, you'll be able to get hold of those sessions. And we've actually even made the presentations available too. And there's a few other resources on there. So I encourage everyone.
Great! So people can actually get the presentations themselves from that page. Excellent. And by the way, for those of you who might get lost going to rws.com, you can actually go to tridion.com, and it takes you to the right place in the website. So that's something that I highly advise people to do. And yeah, having the roadmap, I think a lot of people are excited about the roadmap, as people are excited about Tridion Agent and Tridion Connect that are going to be coming up later this year.
That was the big thing, Tridion AI coming out with Tridion Connect, which is that content intelligence piece, right. Going out, looking for changes in regulations, looking for changes in your requirements, and then intelligently bringing that up to you in that, look, this has changed. It's going to impact all these documents. What do you want to do about it? And then the agents come in and if you allow them to, they'll go and do something with it. So maybe create a draft or move this to that place. There's loads of capabilities being brought in. And another part of it that I really got excited about is there's a build your own agent part of it. So that we can't think of every single situation, and each company, each enterprise is different. And so if you can build your own agents, the tools are in there, just allows you to drag and drop and put things together, build your own workflow and get it to work for you. That's
yeah, I was about to say, and when you're saying build, it's not like developer build, it's literally connecting the parts in the process with a workflow editor, which I think is amazing.
Yeah. So you're looking at change intelligence being brought in, regulatory changes and all of that. You no longer have to keep scrolling all of that. Just connect it to whatever that source is, and it's able to keep an eye on it, monitor it, and come back out with it. And it was really great. And the interaction in the Slack space was brilliant as well. So that for those who registered, they'd have gotten a link to join the Slack, and the interaction in there there's a few people that want to get onto the proof of concept, get in there, let's try it out with our content. So if you are interested, just contact us, and we'll put you on a short list. There's quite a few people on there, and if you're lucky enough to be one of those, then we'll be building it with you. And that's another of the things, is that it's customer led. Features are customer driven.
Exactly. And we've got another important announcement. So Tridion Docs 15.3 is just around the corner. It's, and I think there's a go, no go meeting tomorrow where we're going to assess, if it's ready to be released. Sometimes there's a couple of things that the engineering team needs to tie up, the documentation team needs to tie up, but we're getting close. So
you always have to check with the latest security issues and things like that, so that all of that to make sure that, this full cloud-based experience that we're building towards is always going to be there. And one of the things that they do is to make sure that, any of the latest security alerts, anything that comes up, they're checking that build against it, So 15.3 is, working our way towards that full cloud-based experience, supporting modern ways of working, reducing our dependency on desktop tools. And hey, Mac users out there, I'm a Mac user, reducing dependency on XEs, and so you can do a lot more from your Mac environment. So if your docs department is all Macs, from 15.3 onwards, you've got that going.
Yeah, nobody wants to use the Fusion or at some of the other tools. So I'm glad we finally got there. And Josh Steen, who's taken over from Joe Pearman, I think has done an extraordinary job of shepherding this release, and then also making sure that things are set up for the future with some of the roadmap items. And on that note, we also have Justin Harrison, who's now the product manager for Tridion Sites, and he also did a nice presentation in terms of where we're heading and what we're going to be putting in as features. So I think we're now investing pretty heavily on the product management front, and I think it's a good reason to do so. Or the timing is right, because with AI really having such a big impact on organizations, they're looking for how content can really feed into those AI engines, etc. And so we're there to support people with the new features in the new world.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the Tridion platform is that big thing with the AI level sitting on it,
Right.
and allowing AI features through MCP or through Connect to connect to all the tools, all the products that we've got. At the end of the day,
Right.
we have that whole suite all sitting under that AI platform layer, and it's exciting times.
Well, and with MCP, I think even though we've had it for Tridion Sites for a couple of months now, finally we're getting it for Tridion Docs as well. And I promise you, yeah, you'll be a kid in a candy store once you start to use it with Tridion Docs. There's just so much that you'll be able to do. Of course, the Tridion MCP is only as powerful as the surface area of the API that's servicing it. So we're fully expecting people to say, hey, there's a couple of extra features that I'd really love to have. I'd really like to address this type of use cases. So then we would expand our APIs to support those types of use cases. So I think it's very important to partner with us and let us know, what are some of the things that we should expand on in the API.
Yeah, that's it. Get in touch if you are interested in seeing how Tridion AI is going to be able to help you. And it's not a question of we're past the generative AI thing. We're not it's like, what do you need to connect to get that business intelligence? Think about all the times that you're having to switch to a different app to go and find out what's happening that's going to impact me. Well, that sort of thing is what you would give to an agent. Spend your time doing real work that provides real value. That's what you've been hired for. Not to scroll through lines of Excel and all of that sort of stuff.
Cut and paste, right? Yeah, definitely. So yes, if you're interested on the product experience team, we'll be happy to walk you through demonstrations as the product is getting released. Feel free to book some time. We'll probably get it into our hands, I think, in the next 3 weeks or so. We'll have the final release, and we'd be happy to do walkthroughs and to sort of have a one-on-one discussion with the organizations that we serve.
Yeah, so there's a launch webinar that's coming up on the 24th. So you'll be receiving your invitations to that. Look out for that. And then there's the big Tridion AI launch that's coming up towards the end of July. And so, those as well, we'll be communicating with everyone, letting you know where to come and join us, to come and see.
And you're doing an AI webinar with Congri coming up?
I'm doing an AI webinar with Congri, yes. And it's that thing, working with our partners, they're specialized in terminology, in applying styles and things like that, and we're not. We do have our taxonomy tools, we do have ways to do it, but when you want something special, then you go to the specialist for it. And so I'm going to be on with Congri, and we'll be looking at making AI work for you, and what are the things that we're doing on our end, what are the things that they're doing on our end. And as they're an integrated partner, hey,
right,
be looking at lots of really nice stuff. Everyone wants AI, but very few organizations know how to implement it safely. That's one of the things that we'll be looking at as well: governance, terminology, and content quality. Those are the things that matter to your organization. So that's what we're going to be talking about, to help you amplify the quality of your content and the processes that you already have in place. You know, you don't have to change everything. It's just a question of using the right tools at the right time for the right job.
That sounds great. Yeah, so I think that wraps up. Did we have anything else to mention on the call?
We're going to be at the London Tech Week.
Okay.
London Tech Week is taking place next week from the 8th to the 12th, and RWS as a whole is going to be there. So Christina Scott, our Chief Product Officer, is going to be there. If you do want to meet her, if you want to arrange meetings with her, you know, just go on to our London Tech Week events page on rws.com, and you can register through there, and you know, try and get a hold of someone and set up a meeting with them. I'll be there. There's a few other people. So language services, content technology, even Protect will be there. And you know, if you've got any questions, come and see us. Happy to demo anything for you as well.
Well, that sounds great. Yeah, and I love that we're getting back into doing some of the live conferences, live meetings with people. All right, I think that's about it. We're at 11 minutes, so till next month.
I think that's it. Yeah, great.
All right, thanks so much, Deepo.
Thanks.
All right, we'll see everyone next month. Bye-bye.